Hello and welcome once again to the Dr. Zeero Free Magic Secrets Show, where we investigate all forms of magic. And today we're going to be talking about Jewish magic a little bit, because there's a word for it. It's called Kavvanah. I do believe that's the way to pronounce it, and it's spelled Kavvanah, and it stands for basically magical intention. And it's an important part of the practice, and it's something that is not necessarily known by everyone at large. So I just kind of wanted to read something from a book, of course. And this is a book called Kabbalistic Magic, spelt with a Q. Talismans, Psalms, Amulets, and the Practice of High Ritual by Shlomo Baal Shem. Baal-Shem. And this book is like a huge collection of super deep Jewish magic secrets, which is important to definitely learn. And I highly suggest it. It's from Destiny Books from Rochester, Vermont. So I'm just going to read the back real quick before we jump into it. But the Kabbalah, the Jewish esoteric tradition, is richly woven with magical practices from amulets and magic bowls to invocations and magical use of psalms. In this comprehensive and practical guide to the Kabbalistic magic, Shlomo Baal Shem explains how to authentically perform rituals from the Kabbalistic tradition. The spells and rituals included range from basic everyday magic for health, prosperity, love, protection, and prophetic dreams to advanced high-level magic, such as invoking the highest angelic powers or creating an astral life form, or golem. revealing the occult teachings of the 4th century Book of the Mysteries, the magical uses of 150 psalms, and how to harness the power of Hebrew letters in talisman designs. The author also shows you how to contact the Magick, or divine inner teacher, or attain the spiritual vision of the Merkaba, a thoroughly accessible guide to the magic of the Kabbalah. This book also covers the underlying spiritual principles and history of these powerful magical practices. So yeah, I'm just building it up for you. But we're talking about the Kavvanah, the Kavvanah. So in the following chapters, you will find many spells, charms, and instructions for making amulets and talismans. And later in this book, you will find advanced invocations and rituals. To activate this ancient magic, however, it is not enough to recite the words and perform the actions described. In order to cause a magical effect, you must recite and perform with Kavvanah. Kavvanah is the fundamental principle of Kabbalistic magic, although it is not easy to translate into English. The dictionary definitions are intention, meaning, concentration, devotion. In Kabbalistic literature, Kavvanah means all of them. In order to cause any magical effect, you must create a thought form and do so with a specific intention and concentration. You then must empower it with emotion and devotion. The secret of magic is not to do the most complex rituals, but to bring forth from within you the emotion and feeling of magical power when it is needed. To be able to direct your intention with concentration and devotion onto a specific aim and call down divine power is what the ancient Kabbalists called Kavvanah. There is an ancient text called Chapter About the Kavvanah, according to the ancient Kabbalists, written at the end of the 13th century, describing the development and use of Kavvanah. So, from that body of work, there's a quote: "Whoever fixes something in his mind with perfect fixation will find that the essence will turn to him. If you are able to concentrate on one thing to the exclusion of everything else, you will attract the essence of this thing. And if you make a connection with it, you will be able to change it. Most people cannot direct their thoughts, and they cannot keep one thing at a time in their mind. They want one thing and its opposite, and therefore they achieve nothing. Therefore, if thou prayest or speakest a blessing, or if thou want to focus on something in its truth, visualize with thy mind that thou art light, and everything around thee is light, and from every corner and from every side shines light, and inside the light is a throne of light, and on it is the Or Noga, glowing light, and opposed to it is another throne of light, and on it is the Or Tov, good light, and it will be like thou art between them. To avenge, turn to the Noga, and to be compassionate, turn to the Tov. And the words that come from your lips, literally that which comes from your lips, shall face its countenance, and turn thyself to thy right, and you will find light. This is the Or Bahir, bright light, and at thy left thou wilt find splendor. This is the Or Masir, shining light, and between them and above them is the Or Ha-Kavod, light of the glory, and around it is the Or Chaim, light of life, and above it is the Keter Ha-Or, crown of light, that crowns the objects of the thoughts and enlightens the ways of the visualizations, who makes the shininess Zohar of the visions shine. And there is no fathom nor limit to this light. The Or Noga, glowing light, corresponds to Gavura, and the Or Tov, good light, corresponds to Chesed. The Noga gives revenge, and Tov gives compassion. The Or Bahir, bright light, is Netzah, and the Or Mashir, shining light, is Hod. Netzah is right, and Hod is left. The ancient Kabbalists saw both the body of man and of Adam Kadmon with the pillar of strength on the left and the pillar of mercy on the right side. The Or Ha-Kavod, light of the glory, corresponds to Tiferet, which is between and above Netzah and Hod. The Or Chaim, light of life, relates to Yesod, and the Keter Ha-Or, crown of light, corresponds to the Sefer Keter. Only if you know how to concentrate on the truth of the path of light through the devotion of your thought and of your will that connects you to the divine, you will be able to perform this miracle. Both thought and will must be applied. This means you must create a suitable thought form and have enough willpower to activate it. Both thought and will must be connected to the everlasting truth of the One. There can be no thought or desire that distracts you if the power of the Kavvanah is well developed. Inner strength comes from a strong will. A strong will comes from a clear mind that has a definitive idea of what it wants. Clear visualization is created by precise thought and observation. Magical power is developed by spiritual achievement, and fortitude is developed by contemplating the light of the One. The more you are able to attract the influence of the unmanifest, the stronger the Kavvanah becomes. Kavvanah. By the power of the Kavvanah, everything and every work can be accomplished according to the will of the Kabbalist. Note that the text describes the interaction of will, power, and mind form. In order to do so, you must learn to differentiate between that which comes from the limited world and that which comes from the divine source. This means you must learn to differentiate between the needs, desires, thoughts, and limitations of your mortal self and the divine from which all things come. In this way, you can ascend above these limitations and reach a level of spiritual depth that enables you to neutralize these limitations by connecting to the light of the One, which is beyond human understanding. We must ascend by striving, step by step up Jacob's ladder, until we reach a point at which we can unite our intentions with the divine source. We must turn our will into a garment or vessel for the highest will, that is the will of the One. We must not just try to use the higher will as an instrument or garment for our own lower desires. The divine influx is unlimited. In order to attract this unlimited power, we must unite our conscious intentions with the highest will by devotion to the One. Thus, we can attain spiritual perfection and accomplish our aims, for then they are identical with the aims of the One. If you try to use this method to fulfill your own selfish or egoistic desires, you will fail. If you try to connect yourself to the divine in order to serve your egoistic wishes, the attempt cannot succeed. You will succeed only if you manage to identify your will with the highest will in such a way that your desires are purified and everything that is not in harmony with the highest will. The identification of the lower will with the highest will is a mystery to all those who are motivated by their ego. Only those who are led by their higher self are able to understand this secret. If, however, you try to connect to the divine in a truly selfless way, the divine will approach and meet you halfway. And in this case, the divine will adds its power to yours, and your will shall become stronger, and everything you do will become more perfect. And even personal aims that are not a direct plan of the highest will may be accomplished, providing they do not contradict the highest will. And then it talks about a proverb. And then, if your will is united with the will of the Creator, and directed onto a matter suitable to be subject to the divine influx, then the divine power will cause a change according to your will. This will happen because the divine power will be added to your power, and your Kavvanah will draw down the divine influx. The Shifa comes from Keter and descends through Hokmah, Binah, and Dayat. In order to draw down the divine power into manifestation, you must follow 3 steps. First, you must focus your magical intention on the level of the spirit. The Shefa itself comes to us from the level of Absolute. The act of focusing the intention brings it down to the level of Bariah. Bariah is the level of the divine plan, and this is where your intention must become a vessel for the Shefa. Your magical intention then must be expressed in a suitable form, which is done by using an appropriate word of power or holy name to provide a form through which the power can be directed. This brings the power to Yetzirah, the world of formation. Finally, you must perform a symbolic act, such as writing a talisman, drawing a symbol in the air, or any other magical act, in order to bring the power into Asiya, the world of making. This principle was applied by the ancient sages to every religious act. First, they cleared the mind and focused themselves on the intention of prayer. Then they directed all their intention, devotion, and emotional power into the prayer. And finally, they found a way to bring the intention of their prayer into manifestation. Their recitation of biblical verses, therefore, brought about magical changes, as will be described in the following chapters of this book. Now, he goes into technique of the whole thing. And there isn't more information to go on this one specific topic. So I guess that's it for the Dr. Zeero Free Magic Secret Show today. This is a killer book. It's a good one. You should definitely check it out if you're interested in all this Jewish magic stuff and all these mystical experiences and whatnot. So anyway, hit the subscribe button. There will be more shows in the future, as you know. And let people know I exist, yada, yada, yada. And as always, here's a hot rockin' outro just for you. All right, bye-bye.